Hey there. So let's talk about imposter syndrome today and why in this new earth that we are moving towards, imposter syndrome need not be a thing. So what is imposter syndrome briefly? You've probably felt imposter syndrome at one point in your life, especially I'm thinking today about if you're an entrepreneur or you're teaching or you're putting yourself out there in any way. There's always a time where you don't believe you're good enough to be teaching whatever you're teaching or to be doing whatever you're doing. So imposter syndrome is when you feel like an imposter, where you feel like I am, not good enough for this task that I'm about to do, or I'm presenting myself to these people, and what if I don't have what it takes? So this is really important to grasp, that imposter syndrome is something that we are moving away from. Why? Why is it something that is so common in us, in our conditioned self, and why are we moving away from it? So it's so common for us to feel that way because we've been taught and we've been conditioned that in order to fulfill any position in life, so to teach something, to be out there and be giving to someone, to be charging for something, to be giving out value, we need to have some kind of title or we need to be some kind of expert. The thing that happens is that no matter how many titles we are, no matter how many diplomas we have, no matter how many trainings we take, there's still a feeling within us that is very deep that feels that we are not good enough. And that's always going to be there until we dismantle that root belief of not being good enough. But going back to why it's something that we're transitioning out of is because we've been living in a world for a long time where we've been encouraged to flaunt these degrees, where the way the systems have worked is only the people with these credentials will, get the job, or you have to, or it's impressive that you're an expert of this kind, or you have a PhD, and that proves your worth, instead of what you're actually giving out, instead of what you're actually doing. However, as we're moving into the new paradigm and our levels of consciousness are elevating, more and more people are realizing that what they need to give out as they are giving out value to the world. So say if you are teaching online, as I do, for example, we are realizing more and more that the single most important thing that we need to be is authentic. That there's nothing really that will classify us as being good enough, except for the fact that we are being authentic, that we are being our true selves in front of the people that we are serving. And that is the world that we are moving towards. Okay? So imposter syndrome, and I heard this the other day, and it's been going around in my head, and that's why I needed to come here and share this message with you. Imposter syndrome is a sign that you're pretending to be something that you're not. Imposter syndrome is you still fitting those molds and that narrative and thinking to yourself that you need to be this abstract of yourself, that you need to be this teacher or someone who's different than your true self. You're separating yourself from your true self and thinking there's some parts of you that you need to hide in order to serve others, or that your teachings are not going to have validity unless you're hiding some parts of yourself. And that's why imposter syndrome is coming. Imposter syndrome cannot live within your reality, within your space, if you are constantly reminding yourself to come back to yourself, to come back to your core, to come back to your truth, to come back to your heart. Imposter syndrome cannot live in your space if you are reminding yourself that your teachings are the most valuable to others when you are not hiding any part of yourself. And so what we're moving into now, as we move into higher states of being, as we move into new earth, whatever we want to call it, is we are moving into seeing teachers, and everyone is a teacher. Remember that. Everyone is a teacher about their own life experience, their own story. So we're moving into a place where what will succeed the most, right? What will serve the most, what people will find value in the most is truth. And truth with a capital T, as in people are now more and more in the world able to discern between truth energies and non-truth energies. People can see the clarity in your aura. Even if maybe they can't see your aura, they can see if you are here pretending to be something that you're not, or if you're sharing a message of authenticity. And people will literally resonate. They will feel your energy impacting their energy when you are truthful, when you're authentic. And that's why they will choose you to learn from. Not because you have a certain title or you're a certain kind of being or a certain kind of position in your life. So more and more we're moving into where leaders, thought leaders, and teachers of all kinds are moving into authenticity and into sharing from a place of truth within themselves. And then on the other side, right, congruently, we have the audience who's more and more capable of discerning authenticity. And so what it's going to look like later, what it's going to look like, or what we're moving into is, you know, people are going to be attracted to the people that are giving out a frequency that is resonating within them. And it's not going to be about choosing with the mind, right? Human design teaches us the mind doesn't have the answers of what's correct for us. People are going to either be choosing with their guts or with their spleens or with their egos or whatever, if you know human design. If not, we can say people are going to be choosing through their inner truth because they're going to feel a certain way when they hear certain messages. And that's going to be the simple way that people are going to choose teachers or service providers, or that people are going to choose any way to interact with anybody else. It's going to be about the feeling that we get, and it's going to be about feeling like that is the correct thing for us in that moment. And so if this message had a big idea for you, if you're a teacher or whatever you're doing, whatever you're sharing, whatever message you are here to share, whatever job you're doing, whatever value you're providing, because you are providing some kind of value just by existing and by what you do with your energy on a daily basis, then the message for you is the single most important thing is to be authentic. And then imposter syndrome will completely vanish, because then you're not separating yourself from what you are portraying yourself to be to others. You're being a blank slate. You're being this clear. There's clarity where there's nothing in front of me anymore. There's nothing in front of me anymore. This is just me. And you either can feel that or you can't. And then if you can feel that, then that's how you're gonna know this message is for you. And then some people it won't resonate, and then so they will find their truth in another place. So imposter syndrome, treat it as a lesson, treat it as a reminder that there is no separation between who you really are and who you are in your value providing, or who you are in your business, or who you are in your job, or who you are in any other kind of situation in life. It's time where we integrate and where we understand that every situation, the more we're grounded in self, the more that we can, reach success, if we want to say it that way. Thank you.